The year is 2025. The world was unaware. Humanity, in its arrogance, looked to the stars with dreams. Dreams of finding kindred spirits. Dreams of uncovering the universe's secrets. It was blind to the shadows lurking between the stars. It began with whispers, strange anomalies in radio waves, unexplained disturbances in satellite orbits. Scientists dismissed them as mere glitches, insignificant blips in the vast cosmic ballet. They were wrong. Then, they came. Massive ships, like nothing ever conceived, descended from the sky. They blotted out the sun, casting cities into an eerie, premature twilight. Fear, raw and primal, gripped the hearts of mankind. The aliens had arrived, not with a whisper, but with a roar that shook the very foundations of the earth. Our world would never be the same. Their intentions were far from peaceful. From the depths of those colossal vessels emerged creatures unlike anything found in human nightmares. Their forms defied description, their movements were unnervingly fluid, and their eyes, cold and calculating, reflected an intellect both ancient and utterly alien. Cities crumbled under their relentless assault. Buildings, once symbols of human achievement, were reduced to rubble in the blink of an eye. Their weapons, like something out of science fiction, unleashed forces that defied the laws of physics. Humanity, caught completely off guard, could only watch in horror as its world crumbled around it. Resistance, when it came, was met with swift and brutal efficiency. Tanks were crushed like toys, fighter jets swatted from the sky like flies. The armies of the world, trained for conventional warfare, were powerless against an enemy that seemed to possess technologies centuries ahead of our own. The invaders advanced relentlessly, their hunger for conquest insatiable. The shadow of the alien fleet spread across the globe, leaving behind a trail of devastation and despair. Even in the face of such overwhelming odds, the human spirit refused to be extinguished. Small pockets of resistance, fueled by desperation and courage, sprang up across the ravaged landscape. Soldiers and civilians alike, armed with whatever weapons they could salvage, fought back with a ferocity born of sheer survival instinct. Stories of their bravery, whispered from one shattered city to the next, offered a glimmer of hope in the encroaching darkness. A band of soldiers, hopelessly outmatched, held a vital bridge for days, buying precious time for others to escape. A group of scientists, working tirelessly in their underground bunker, desperately searched for a weakness in the alien technology. But for every act of defiance, for every small victory won, the invaders exacted a terrible price. Cities were leveled, entire populations wiped out. The Earth, once vibrant with life, was slowly being transformed into a desolate wasteland. The fight, it was becoming increasingly clear, was a futile one. Humanity, outmatched and outgunned, was fighting a losing battle. Yet even as the last vestiges of hope flickered and threatened to die, the echoes of defiance refused to be silenced. The war, if it could even be called that, did not last long. Within a matter of months, the invaders had achieved their objective. Earth, once the cradle of humanity, was now under their control. The survivors, scattered and broken, were left to pick up the pieces of their shattered world. The skies, once filled with the familiar blue of the Earth's atmosphere, were now tinged with an eerie, alien hue. The once familiar landscapes were scarred and twisted, bearing the indelible mark of the invaders' technology. The cities, once teeming with life and laughter, now stood silent, their skeletal remains monuments to a lost civilization. Yet, even in defeat, there was a glimmer of something else, something akin to understanding. Humanity, in its final hour, had been given a glimpse of the vastness beyond its own world. It had been taught a harsh lesson, but a valuable one nonetheless. For in the face of extinction, humanity had found something truly precious. It had found unity. It had found courage. It had found the unyielding strength of the human spirit. And in the ashes of its destruction, a new hope, fragile yet tenacious, began to take root. The hope that one day, humanity rebuilt and wiser would rise again.